I'm convinced that the B in Bardstown stands for bangers because they've been dropping some on us. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, it's Felix from Bars and Cigars ATL, and I'm sitting here with one of many of the recent releases from Bardstown Distillery. Now, over the last month and a half, Bardstown has dropped, from what I'm hearing, hit after hit after hit. So before we get into the details of this one, I want to talk about the other two that I'm really hoping to get my hands on and bring you guys a review. First is their next release of their collaboration series. And in their collaboration series, they get with other just innovative, industry-leading folks in the spirit world, and they finish their whiskey in those barrels. So it could be beer, it could be rum, but this time they got with the folks out in Silver Oaks, which is world-renowned for their wine out in California. And they finished their whiskey in their Cabernet barrels. And then after that, the latest release of the Discovery series. And the Discovery series is just a wonderful masterpiece and example of what Bardstown is really known for, which is taking whiskeys from all over America and blending them, aging them, and just making masterpieces. So this time we got the Discovery 12. And if you know anything or remember how big of a release the Discovery 11 was, I hear 12 is even better. So I'm really hoping to get my hands on those two in the near future. But enough about that, let's get to the star of the show. This is the Bardstown latest release of their Origin series. And what they do with their Origin series is actually show us what Bardstown is really about. This is their own juice. And they released Bottle and Bond, they gave us a rye and they gave us a bourbon. Well, this time they followed up with their high wheat Origin whiskey. So the makeup of this, as you can already tell, has a high wheat content. It's 53% corn, 39% and roughly 40% wheat, and then the rest is malted barley. Again, word on the street is that this is, again, another banger. I'm really excited to see some whiskey at reasonable prices, but giving us amazing flavor. So what we're gonna do is, of course, pop the top, get into it. We're gonna look at the color, we're gonna nose it, see what aromas we get from the whiskey, and then we'll take it to the palate, and then finish up with my summary. All right? So let's get into it. Let's not waste time. All right. All right, so now that we got it in the glass, we can take a look at the color of the whiskey, and actually, surprisingly, it is, well, not surprisingly, it is pretty bright and light, almost like an apple juice, if you can see that. It is definitely bright, golden. Yeah, if you got this, if you got kids around, don't get this confused with their apple juice. It is bright and golden. Lighter than a honey, I could say, but definitely green apple juice. Really nice on the color, bright. And then I can actually tell off the glass that there's quite a bit of oiliness and viscosity on it, which is, now that part is a surprise. I think it's only, to be a 6-year-old whiskey, only at, I think, 109, 106 proof. That is nice legs that's on there, man. Hopefully that transfers to the palate and really has a nice mouthfeel. But let's take it to the nose and see what aromas we get off of it. That actually smells really good. First thing that comes to mind, and you know I like to talk with imagery, but first thing that comes to mind is a fresh out of the oven, flaky pastry, like a tart. So I'm thinking about the square tarts, fruit in the middle, white icing, really crispy, flaky, kind of almost croissant in the texture of it. I'm thinking about that, those little pastries that you see in the windows at bakeries. Really nice. There is a fruitiness to it, but before that, I actually get the breadiness, the sweetness, the vanilla frosting, baking spices, nutmeg. But the fruit that's in there, it is bright, but it's not necessarily like a lemon. Well, maybe it is. Maybe cooked lemon, cooked custard. It's not orange per se, it's more in that orange family of fruits, right? So peaches, apricots, but it's in that realm. Not more so on the citrus, but on the brightness of the fruit and the color there that you get when it's cooked down. Really nice, yeah. So peach, mixed apricot type cooked fruit. But again, it's the flaky pastry, the vanilla icing, and the bacon spices that I get. Really nice nose. Yeah, and there's a little bit, maybe what I would say, maybe nuttiness in there on the backside of that aroma. It gives it some depth. So it's not as bright. Now it starts to bring it down here and just gives it a little bit of depth on there. All right, let's take it to the palate, see if those same notes transfer over to the tongue. All right, so the sweetness is not the first thing that stands out. So it doesn't necessarily give you that pastry up front. Surprisingly enough, I actually taste a lot of oak or, some woodiness on the palate. And then kind of the sweetness comes in. It's a little bit more denser than just vanilla icing. So it's a little richer, it's more of a syrup. Yeah, now this is more honey. So on the palate, if you think about the thickness, the richness of that sweetness, it's not vanilla icing on pastry. It is more like a honey with the mouthfeel and that little brightness. If you think about your local honey, it may have different flavors, but like an orange blossom honey. That is very nice. And then I think I get more of that woodiness that comes back on the finish. And that combines with some spice. So maybe a little bit of cinnamon, and again, nutmeg, but it helps the finish actually last a little bit longer. A nice little amount of heat just right in here, but not too hot. So it actually drinks, as the proof would say, around the 106, 109, 106. 106 proof, around there. So not too heavy, definitely approachable. Woodiness, bacon spices. There's the the honey. There, some denseness, sweet tobacco, and nuttiness. Yeah, this is a nice profile, giving you a lot of layers of flavor for something, again, 6 years old, 106 proof. Oh, and the price point. This is around 50 bucks. That's it. And it is rare nowadays. 50 bucks to find a whiskey this good that's giving me this much flavor for 50 bucks. Now, I'm definitely surprised there. I would say there's a lot of bang for the buck behind this one here. As far as their origin series, as I mentioned before, there's a lot that they've given us in their origin series. I think between the wheat, the original bourbon, and the bottle in bond, and this one here, outside of the single barrels, which means stores or distilleries, bourbon clubs, they can pick their own barrel. I think this is either one or two. And for me, it definitely competes with the bottle in bond. This one has more proof. I think that one, just the notes were maybe more just in tune. This one definitely gives you more notes though. So it all depends on what you're looking for. I like the complexity here. I like the sweet richness of the syrup or the honey that I'm getting there. I like that. The finish is lasting for quite a long time. This is really good. I'm trying to think of other $50 whiskeys. You got the Russell's 10 year, which is usually around 46 bucks. Maybe a few Penelopes. No, those are higher actually. So yeah, so I'm thinking around the 50 bucks, right? Some Knob Creeks, 9 year, I believe is around that price point. This one's definitely contending with those neck and neck. Yeah, so to give you guys my final summary, as you can tell, I'm liking this one. Really think that it's delivering a lot for a little. Again, considering the price point, considering that it's only 6 years old, and I just compared it to a 9-year whiskey. A lot of flavors. I'm liking the bright honey, the just slight oakiness, and the sweet tobacco that's on the palate midway back, and I'm liking the finish. So again, it's giving you more than what you actually paid for. So yeah, Bardstown again. I think the B stands for bangers, because between this one and hopefully I'll get my hands on either the Silver Oak or the Discovery 12, I know those are going to be some bangers as well. So really good job, Bardstown, over the last month and a half, giving us, as whiskey lovers, something that we really can't complain about at every price point, at every level. So if you like your stuff finished in wine, go get the Silver Lakes. If you like your well-aged, go get the Discovery 12. And if you're looking for a budget whiskey that gives you a lot of bang for the buck, you can't go no further than the Weeded here. Really good job, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. Hopefully, if I get my hands on the other Bardstowns, we'll just do a Bardstown shootout series and just give you Bardstown after Bardstown. But if you haven't tried Bardstown Origin series, you definitely need to get your hands on some of those. All right, guys. Subscribe to the channel, definitely cut on those notifications, and definitely share this with someone. We got a lot of whiskey friends and a lot of whiskey fans, and they need to know about the Bardstown High Wheat series. So, all right, guys, stay tuned for more reviews of cigars, cigar accessories, and spirits of all types. I'll see you on the other side. All right, light up your life. Peace.